What's up? It's your boy Karceno here. Let's talk about it. This is the true full review of 444, meaning that I've had time to sit with the album and now we get to hear if there's any difference to the album. And there has been for me. More songs I had a chance to listen to more and sit with. Like Marcy Me has grown to be like one of my favorite songs because that's like vintage Jay-Z. I listen to Marcy Me probably the most. And the 444, I love that just for the instrumental alone. The instrumental is incredible. The production on that is just simply unique. The chopping, that's vintage Chicago style, Kanye West style. You know, No ID, who mentored Kanye, SC, you know, all these other ones, Dirge, Sperm, all these dudes, man, they done that type of work and they're familiar with it. With the chopping of the tracks. So I'm impressed. With all things considered, I am very impressed with that song. The production was great, but that song, I apologize, that really got turned into 444, where Jay's breaking down his feelings and all that. It just didn't fit for that beat. It really didn't. Jay can't rap to that. He was trying, but it really don't come off right. You're better off reading about what happened. And not to say Jay did a bad job on the album. He did a pretty great job to me, especially on Marcy Me. That's Jay-Z. If you listen to Marcy Me, that's Jay. And I was like, oh, there's Jay-Z. When Marcy Me came on, I said, yeah, there he is. That's Jay. And people won't know what I'm talking about. Some people will. But they might not get it like I get it. You know what I'm saying? I really, really, really like that song. Kill Jay-Z just showed, like, put himself again as the martyr. Like, everybody just wants to kill Jay-Z, you know? Like, it's time for Jay-Z to die then. I'm just Sean Carter. He done that on Volume 3. There's been a murder. Back to Sean Carter, the hustler. Jay-Z is dead. There are some other songs I don't really care for. That Family Time with Beyonce. The beat is dope. But the best track is definitely the 444. As far as beat-wise, I think that beat right there is probably the best production on the album. The Story of OJ is still a classic, but now it was like one of those jump out songs. Like as soon as you hear it, it jumps out at you. You're like, wow. Okay, I'm in for the ride. Kill Jay-Z, the Story of OJ come on. So, you know, it's a lot of grown-up songs on this album that sit with you. And some it's just like, it's skippable. You know, he's saying a little bit of something, but don't really hold any weight to you. But this was the most personable Jay-Z album there was ever made. He's never been this personal into his life with all the stuff he keeps guarded. So that's why people, I think, is so like intrigued. Jay had something to say. Yeah, he did. He had a lot to address because it was a lot of BS that he caused. It doesn't make him a great man. That's why I'm like, dude, like, man, you see that? He talked about what he did, man. He talked about him being a piece of crap. I'm like, okay. You a black man who messed up. Okay. Like, because you rich, you still mess up? So the money don't change anything? Thanks for letting us know, Jay. Okay. Yeah, but then he got a song where he really goes in on these mumble rappers. And that's when it's like, dude, you signed most of these dudes. You know, Rock Nation has a bunch of artists. Like, before Rock Nation dropped the record, like they were out almost 2-3 years before they dropped anybody's records. They signed mostly producers, so they can get money on the production side. So most of the people that they sign as artists, they do other things. Now they seem to be signing people just for tax write-offs. See, I understand the formats of a company and why they're forming. Because right now, record labels signing people is just like they're going to get their money off the top. Or they're going to get it later on because they know there's 9 times out of 10 you're going to fail. So why put marketing dollars into your project when it doesn't look like you're probably going to be around long to recoup or have anything to offer the actual company? So you either have to be a producer, you have to be some type of beat maker. You got to be doing something and bringing that to the table before Rock Nation can really deal with you. Now, they'd be like, okay, we can make money or develop this person and do this and do that, you know, and what good does it make that Jay cleared the air? It's good business. It's good business. Beyonce had shown her twins for the first time when they turned 1 month old. Rumi and Sir Carter. So now the world is abuzz because she showed the twins for the first time. And they're like, man, where's your video about Beyonce twins? I don't want to get into that. You know, congratulations to them for their twins. And that's that. You know, but I wanted to focus more on the actual music. You know, enjoy motherhood again. It's perfect for them. And much success to them. Now, as we carry on, I think the song Loyalty and all that stuff that's at the end, I'd skip that track. I really think this should have stayed at 10 songs. Because the new songs they put out didn't really, the Adness song, the song that's dedicated to his father, you know, I think he was all mostly pained because he was the youngest child. When his father left, he really didn't have any clarity to it. He was mad that his father left and never really understood. So he grew with a disconnect more than anybody. So when he patched things up to actually go see his dad, and his father was messed up at the time because he had let all those years go by. He felt guilty that he didn't reconnect with his father for so long. And when he did, he only had him for like a short period of time before his father passed away. And then he still lives with the regret that he wasn't man enough to go over there and visit him like his brother did, and everybody else came to see his father, but Jay wouldn't go see him. And when he talked, he was like, his dad was like, well, your brother came to see me, why you didn't see me? You know, so they gotten and bonded and became close again. And it was good for Jay, but he lost him so quick. And you know, after reconciliation and you lose him that quick, you know, it had an effect on Jay, I think. And he never really got that closure because he felt the guilt of having his, you know, missing out on his father. But overall, you know, the song Smile is a nice song with his mom. Talked about her, you know, being a lesbian, you know, whether it was a man or a woman, you know, he had to lie and tell people she's just a thespian and all this stuff. You know, and he spoke on these things, you know, because people didn't know about that. And we've seen that as a more growing common trait with older women who are hitting their 50 and 60s, who were married, had kids. Now all of a sudden, for companionship, they're doing the lesbian thing. And I've seen that more and more. So, you know, he just want to see his mom happy. You know, and from that point on, that's where they go. So, I'm out.